Brought to you by Hobby Zone USA, your source for hobby storage solutions, hard-to-find hobby tools, and aftermarket modeling needs.
Welcome to another episode of FineScale Modeler's New Product Rundown One-Shot. This time, I'm excited to take a look at Revell Germany's 1/32 scale Spitfire Mk.II. Now, this tooling's been around for about 5 years, but this kit they've decided to box to commemorate Iron Maiden's Aces High single from 1984, which is all about RAF pilots in the Battle of Britain. The Aces High cover for the single had Eddie, the band's mascot, at the flight controls of a Spitfire, so it seems appropriate. Let's take a look what's inside the box. Revell Germany's typical end opening boxes. This one is specially marketed with paint, glue, and a brush. So if you know somebody who's an Iron Maiden fan and doesn't build very many models or has never built a model, this is a chance for them to do it all by themselves. Nice little touch there. These should be Revell's acrylic paints and some of their glue and a brush, which has gotten a little dinged up in transit there. The basic kit parts, like I said, this is Revell's 4 or 5 year old Spitfire. I think it was 2014 when it was released. So you get nice recessed panel lines, petite rivets all across the surfaces of the airframes there. Same thing with the wings there. The various control surfaces are separate, and presumably posable, including the flaps. Nice some cockpit detail there, which looks pretty good. I'm just going to flip this over. So you get the inner walls of the side walls of the cockpit, framing, controls, and the rest of the cockpit detail here. Again, you get a nice control panel with molded dials, the framing with open holes for the lightning holes. There are the ailerons, looks like the flaps there, other internal parts. There's some tanks and so forth, controls for the sides, the throttles and the mixture controls and whatnot. Again, really nice fine detail here. It's a very good looking kit. We have the chin is a single piece. You get landing gear, doors. The exhausts are molded in 2 parts, so you get open holes, as you can see. Pretty nice looking parts, various scoops and so forth for the intakes. There's the prop spinner. The blades are separate. All nice detail. But obviously, well, hang on, don't forget the clear parts, because they're pretty sharp here. We got good clear parts, separate armored windshield, the moving section of the cockpit, the windshield. Here's the rear section of the cockpit, the glass that fits over the fixed section. There's various lights. The gun sight, good looking clear parts. But obviously what really sets this kit apart is its connection to Iron Maiden, which starts with the decals and marking options. We get big Iron Maiden Aces High. These can be put underneath. There's Aces High Iron Maiden again for the sides. There's some slogans, shoot the Foca. I really appreciate the kill marks that they've added to the side up here, which are the various forms of Eddie that he takes on the covers for the first 5 albums. Number of the Beast, Power Slave, various other records, and there's little hash marks to put through them and a question mark. And of course the tail number on that one is 666. Alternatively, they give you markings for one of the stage props that they use when they play Aces High on the road. So it's a slightly different marking scheme, different numbers and so forth. Some wing commander chevrons. So you get two options in the kit, both with a solid Iron Maiden connection. And then what really sets the kit apart is the inclusion of not one, but two eddies, because it wouldn't really be complete without him. There's a seated pilot that you can put inside the cockpit and a standing pilot. If you can zoom in tight on his face there, you can see they've done a good job of sculpting a good grimacy eddy there. The one seated in the cockpit has it's flashing the V sign for victory. So just a really nice update to Revell's existing 32nd scale Spitfire with a really solid Iron Maiden connection. So if you know somebody out there who's a Maiden fan, they want to build a Spitfire, this is the perfect opportunity to do it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.